Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Turtle Talk. Hi, Geeky. Hold on, I gotta do the intros first. Jeez.
Spoiler alert, I'm here.
God, every time. Anyways, welcome to folks to another very exciting edition of Turtle Talk. I know it's been a while, but we have a bunch to talk about. We also got one of our favorite shellheads on the stream for the first time in a long time. So very excited to welcome back Kyle to the Dave Wonder channel. So real quick, hi, Geeky. Now you spoiled that already.
Oh, it's me. It was me. Surprise.
Then welcome to our very special guest, Kyle Wlodyga, Shellhead Extraordinaire. Hey, bud. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you guys? How we doing?
Good, dude. Welcome.
Thank you.
I think the last time we had you on, it was the marathon stream, and I was not right in the head by that point.
Yeah, I only show up for marathon streams. So are we locking in for another 24 hours? Is that what I?
Let's go.
24. Here we go.
Don't tease me with a horrible time. Welcome. Also, welcome to the COJ already chiming off in the chat. Welcome. Holy crap. All right. Man, it's okay. The chat is cruising along. Either that or my StreamYard just glitched out on me. But welcome. For the no, Boocat. I don't think I got that in.
But let me just pull out my lists.
Oh God.
Ethan will be the only one talking for 24 hours.
I was gonna say I'm gonna.
I'll just go down the list alphabetically, like the list enough.
This actually makes my life so much easier now, despite all of the hardship that's been in the last 2 weeks or whatever. Now I can just say, Ethan, like, I don't work there, man. Like, like, don't figure it out. Sorry,
you're free.
Yeah, I'm good. I can't help you anymore, bud. Sorry.
Dude, first and foremost, I know I think you popped by the Grippin' and Rippin' this past Wednesday briefly, but boy, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for these, my friend, because holy shit, man. What a hell of a high note for the series.
Yeah, I'm glad you like them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to work on. Immense team effort. Brandon Gash on sculpts, Matty K on paints, everybody in production and sales and licensing, and
heck yeah,
obviously
but
Bossman Henderson. Yes, all that stuff.
In the past, we've only been able to talk about one brand. We've only been able to go down one delightful trail of turtles. Now we can talk about whatever, and like we actually can talk to you about you and your love of the brand. Your real quick. If you want to let the folks know, for those not in the know, let people know who you are, what you do, and what got you into the turtles, man.
Well, thank you. My name is Kyle Wlodyga, as Dave so incorrectly pronounced. That's okay.
Did I say Wlodyga?
Why Wlodyga?
Yeah, no one ever gets it right. If it makes you feel any better, I've heard every variation. I used to get really mad when people couldn't get my name right. I was like, "What do you mean? It's like the L is silent. It's easy." But now, like right around college, I got to a point where I was just like, "All right, how's he gonna mess it up this time?" You know. And so I've heard everything under the sun. I know, that's great. I'm proud of you. You did so good.
I like to imagine Dave in a mirror just saying your name over and over in different ways.
Yeah. That's what
you're
I do.
You're a star. You're a shining star.
Real quick. No. Yeah. No shit. Hold on. I have.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You should look at the phonetics though.
I know.
What did you miss?
It's a silent F.
Wlodyga.
Wlodyga. There you go. It's okay. As one of my close friends says, all of the letters are silent. So if you, and also, it's pretty easy to type though too. If you bang your head against the keyboard, you're gonna get most of them on there. Yeah.
Help me pronounce this. Kyle Wlodyga.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The worst one I ever got was in art school, like a big lecture hall of 300 people for an art history class. You could always tell like when like the name's coming up, because it's like, oh yeah, Woods, Williams. Long pause. You're like, oh, all right, here we go. And homeboy was so confused by the last name that he messed up the first name. He went Kyle Wlodyga.
Dang!
I was like, right here, bud. There you go. I went by Kylie for a whole semester because like it's 300.
That sounds like a German pop star.
I'm not gonna correct him,
Well,
okay. Anyway,
go all out.
Here we go. Yeah. Okay. The floor's yours. Sorry for botching it.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's fine. So I formerly was associate art director at Super 7. Now I'm just a guy who likes turtles. I've worked on many brands, including Turtles and Batman, and basically the only thing I haven't worked on is Marvel and Star Wars in some capacity. Because I've done Transformers and Masters of the Universe and Godzilla and Motorhead and Ghost and all these other heavy metal bands. And so much stuff under the sun. I was with Super 7 for 6 years, but I've been in the industry for a little under 10 right now. I got my start in June of 2015. So, I'm just a guy who loves working on this stuff and, has had a very fortunate ride so far. And, I'm in between stuff right now, as the shirt says. But
nice.
Otherwise, just having a good time, and I'm excited to talk about turtles with everybody. I'm just like you guys now. I'm, was never any better than anybody else, but no, I'm really not any better than anybody else. So,
dude,
one at a time, ladies, please.
Me. So even beforehand, I think that's like how we had met a handful of times prior to that too, I believe. Right before you were
maybe.
I think so. I mean, that was like
maybe
going back.
Like, I got one of those faces where I look, like every other white guy with a beard. I mean, Dave and I look like separated at birth right now. So
it's true. Hold on, wait.
Just take out, it's just take me out, and it's but like you did your own. You were making your own figures too, right? Like you did prototypes of like a mythology characters.
Yeah,
and that was I was like. Yeah, and those are.
I had no idea I was on your radar at that point. So
because they were it was Minotaur, right? There's a Minotaur in there,
yeah,
and there was like a Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that like you could come back to too?
It is because it seems that I only come back to it when I'm between jobs. I started that when I didn't have a job, and just to keep myself sharp and fresh and still like with my skills up. And then I got the job, and it kind of like went on pause for a minute, and the COVID stuff really hurt it as well. Because if you go look at, I have like a few stickers. It's like Mythical Metalheads launching 2020, and I'm like, ugh. So never really recovered from that. But I'm looking at the prototypes right now. I have them here, and so those never really went away. I might revisit them. I'm not like, originally I had them as like statues, but I think I might do something like else. Yeah, maybe if we do that, if anything. So hard to say.
Well, and I mean, okay, like I don't want to be like, tell us about your childhood, Kyle. But like, when did you kind of find the turtle brain? Like, when did that first start impacting you? Was it something that you were on board like OG run, or did like you find it a little later on?
Well,
we haven't gotten to talk about on stream.
Yeah, so. we have not. I'm gonna make you feel bad. I got in a little bit later because I'm a little bit younger than you guys, I think.
What?
So I'm born in 1990, so
I'm 12.
I just turned 35 this week. So
I'm only 3 years older.
Okay, there you go. Easy. And so everybody I talk to is always older than me, so that's just what I assume.
But we're talking toys all day, every day. So I feel like
we're all young at heart, right?
How old you are.
Yeah. So my first memory of turtles was when I was 3 years old. We went to Walt Disney World in Florida, and at that time, maybe I was three or five. At that time, there was a live Turtles stage show in Disney World, which sounds like kind of preposterous, like especially with the like licensing crossover that is that. But yeah, there was a live show of Ninja Turtles at Walt Disney World, and like I got all the brothers to sign my like autograph book in April and stuff, and that was kind of like my first like exposure to it. And as a kid, I liked Mikey because he's younger brother, and he's all like everybody wants to have fun back then. But then you wise up and realize that everything cool that the Turtles have comes from Donnie. So Donnie's the man.
These guys,
those are the dudes. Yeah, that's them.
That was why Dave was quiet for a second. He was like,
he's
furiously.
I too am silent when I Google.
No. I was pulling up the image because I was like, no, this was a thing. Because as soon as you started talking about it, I remember being told this was a thing as a kid, and I was like, but the Turtles live in New York, and like,
I know.
As a little kid, I could not comprehend that.
Yeah,
there was a whole season where they went on vacation to different places. So I mean, that stands to reason they could hang out at Disney for
Turtles around the world. They were in residency.
Turtles forever.
There you go.
But yeah, so was that your first impression? Like, did it have you hooked then, or were you just kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it then, but at the time there wasn't like, 1994 or 5 or whatever. There wasn't. Cue the angry comments. There wasn't really a show at that point. Like that was still going for them, I think. And like the movies were the big thing at that point, but those were, for whatever reason, they didn't really get onto my radar as a kid.
There's a gap.
But they were always like peripherally in my lexicon or whatever. But then it really was the 2003 series when I'm 13 years old. It's like a cartoon but it's like they're pretty mean, and like it's pretty dark, and Shredder kills people and
sure does
that kind of stuff. And so I was like, oh cool, like this is what's up. And so I really like latched on to the 2003 Turtles, and that was like my real like, I don't know, first real gateway into like understanding the world and lore and all that stuff. It was funny is that I have it somewhere, so if we take a commercial break, I might be able to go grab it. But I have like a drawing I did when I was 16. And I was like, I'm going to do my versions of the Turtles. And it's going to be like, so I just drew 2003. Like, it wasn't even like, there was not even like any artistic interpretation whatsoever. It just looked like 2003. At the time, I was like, yeah, this is so sick. And then I looked at it again recently. I was like, what was this is just 2003. Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty good still for a 16-year-old.
I was gonna say,
time, there was no like interpretation. There's nothing original. Like I even got like the skin tones to match the two. It's crazy. So
it was in your. It was just lodged in there, and it was just taken loose by the pencil a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So like, were you collecting the? I mean, this is always one of those weird things too. Of like, were you like picking up figures at that time, or were you at that point of being like too cool for school on figures? Because I know a lot of people like. I had a lot of buddies at like 11 that were just like toys.
Yeah,
baseball, sports.
Yeah, while you chase girls, I studied the toys or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. And meanwhile, there's Dave being like, I'll take those from you.
Yeah.
You're done. Cool.
I collected toys to a point, and then for whatever reason, and I'm still mad about it. Like at one point, my mom was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a garage sale. Is there anything you want to get rid of?" And I was like, I'll sell my complete Kenner Gargoyles collection, Mom.
Oh, no.
I was like, to this day, I was like, why did you let me do that? She's like, you wanted the money. I was like, I want the toys now.
Yeah.
Like, but
the $37 you got was
so worth it.
Yeah.
So I was really big into the like Jurassic Park toys from the like Lost World stuff. I had the like T-Rex and I had the giant like 2-bus convoy thing. And then I had like a full Kenner Gargoyles collection back when that was a thing, because I was really into gargoyles as a kid.
Have you been picking up the NECA run of them?
Yeah, I have all the gargoyles.
Right.
So I wish they all had folded wings or just like half wings or something. But it is what it is.
That needs the stupid cape wings, and I had heard a rumor it was supposed to come. Hudson was supposed to come with Macbeth, and I don't know.
Oh man, no, it's over. I know, that's a bummer.
Did it come with the what's it called? The version where he's wearing the trench coat, right?
No,
so that's Broadway. That's Broadway. And it's like
Hudson's the only one that we're missing.
Yeah. The older beard guy with the sword.
Yep.
Voiced by what's his name? The same guy who did the voice of Carl in Up.
Ed Asner.
Ed Asner. Yeah. Also voiced Hudson, which is crazy.
Also voiced J. Jonah Jameson in the 90s.
That's right.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Legendary voice actor.
Legendary actor, period.
Yeah, I know.
He had a hell of a career.
Yeah, of Cobra Kai fame, you're right. I agree.
But
what was I saying? So I didn't really collect any turtle stuff for a long time. I remember getting like a bin of like hand-me-down Playmates from my cousin, but that was like kind of it. And I think those got sold in the garage sale. But then I remember specifically collecting toys in the way that I do now when I was like 12 or 13, specifically with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. That came with the comic book and the like giant clamshell that you had to like make a blood sacrifice to open.
Yeah.
So I think the first one I got was that Beast from that line.
Oh dang.
That like crazy one with like the hinged jaw and the toes and all that stuff. Still one of the best beasts ever. But that was like, I remember specifically getting that because I was like, I'm going to like complete this team and blah, blah, blah. And I liked that you could read all the stuff and it was fun. So,
the cost for those two was not a bad cost either at the time.
My allowance was like $4 a week and I had to give away half of it to savings or charity. So it took me like, 10 weeks to get a figure or whatever, but I did it.
Dude, but I just remember the stupid clamshells being like the toughest thing ever. I will say
blood sacrifice.
I am very grateful. I don't think there ever has been a turtle product that's come out in those outside of like the Pocket Arcade games, if you remember those. Because those always had those.
Didn't the NECA Mirage ones come in those like blood sacrifice cases? Or am I thinking of the bootlegs?
I know mine. Well, there were like 4 different releases of those because there was like Sam Goody when there was Sam Goody. There was like it was all the different ones. But I'm sure there had to have been one of them. But I hadn't even thought about those. That seems like a lifetime ago at this point, which is crazy when you think of NECA and Turtles. It's like that was way far back, and then you kind of forget that there was a 8-year gap, almost a 10-year gap in between that and the onslaught that has been NECA product.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I got to throw this out there just because I know you're a metalhead. This might be the most metal turtle figure to come out in a bit.
It's pretty rad. I really like it.
Yeah,
I really wish that they did one, and maybe there's like 8 variants of it or whatever. I really wish that they did one that was all red, like the actual Dracula blood armor.
Yeah,
from the Bram Stoker one, because I'm tight with Blaine, who's over there, and like he was telling me about this figure, and I was like, dude, like it's so sick that there's like the Dracula things. Like, but why isn't it red? He goes, I tried, I did all this stuff, like
yeah,
but because he's a huge fan of that too. And I was like, hey, you should also just make that figure since you guys are big into horror too. But
well, and it feels like it'd be a late. I am wondering.
Yeah,
if somewhere down the line there will be one of those as some weird exclusive, or
Target all red one or whatever.
All red,
yeah.
But I guess that's a good place to move the convo to, is like what are you excited about in the market right now? With I mean, we'll granted, because of the show, we're gonna focus more on like turtle stuff that's coming out, because there's a bajillion toy lines that have turtles and stuff. But like what's got you excited?
Nothing. None of them. I'm out.
Damn.
Over.
All right. Cool. Let's go, everybody.
Now's the time where it's like, I've never actually been into turtles this entire time.
Yeah, actually, I don't really care. Yeah, I don't know. Not really a reptile guy. Yeah. No, I'm excited for.
I like wombats.
Playing my own tune here. I'm excited for hopefully the Wave 2 stuff, or Wave 2 2003 or Wave 13 technically to come out, because I really want that shredder. That's like my favorite shredder design of all time, and if none of them come out, I hope to God it's that shredder, because that's really what I want. But
did Brandon sculpt those too?
No, so Brandon was in-house for the turtles.
Yeah.
And because there's one body and there's just a couple heads, it was easy for one guy to just do everything. But the other 4 were sculpted by 2 other guys. Shredder and Foot Soldier was done by a guy named Dave White, who used to sculpt for 4 Horsemen. He sculpted the Goldar, the Lord Zed, the King Sphinx. He did the Batmobiles, the Mechagodzilla, Shogun. Like, he's a super talented guy. Unfortunately, also got clipped. And then another guy named Tom Schunard, I also probably butchered his name. He did Casey and Splinter, and he is still there. And, I talk to Tom all the time. My heart goes out to him. He's going to have a hell of a workload.
I was going to say
on his plate right now. Yeah.
Weeks. But right on. But I mean, that because those are slated end of the year, I think, now. So fingers crossed, because that's
everybody I've talked to says that everything is still on track to come out. So I have no reason to believe otherwise. So
I'll be curious to see where things land again. You and so many other people, not being there anymore. But are you picking up any? So I mean, okay, there's obviously some third-party figures that are out there, the seasonal turtles, if you will. There's is it Meditoys has some 1/12 scale turtles?
The not Storm Collectibles one.
Yeah, there's
those interest me, but I'm not getting any of those. I typically don't get a lot of third-party stuff, just out of respect for IP holders and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of it interests me, some of it doesn't. I think the only one I have that's like third-party, I have that like Gandalf that came with like the real beard or whatever in 1/12, but that's kind of it.
But I mean, we got NECA, we got Playmates,
exactly. I'm excited for whatever else comes from NECA. I actually am really into. I know that it was like sort of controversial, but I really am into what Trevor did with the like What If Bebop and Rocksteady. I think that's like super smart and like a really like intelligent, cool design, especially because I'm homies with Trevor, and I know that he's such a like a Henson Henson fan. Like, I know that he just like studied everything that he could to like make that as realistic as possible. And like, some people are like, oh, it looks better if you do this, or like expand the like heads or whatever it is. But it's like, I know that Trevor thought about it, and like, you have to like make it so you can put a guy's head in there and the animatronics and then all of the layer. Like, I know that he thinks about it like that, rather than just like, oh, it's an action figure. So
I have to make reasons for myself not to buy shit.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I have a really cool Bebop and Rocksteady, and I have Token Razar, and they're really cool. But every time I see like those figures, I'm like, but I want to play with them. Like I want to. They also feel very Power Rangers. They feel very like Sentai Monster to me.
I think that's part of why I like them so much too.
But like
correct.
I dig them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I saw those too, and I mean, I was seeing the some of the negative response. I was like, that's, I get it. It's not for everybody, but the thing is like, that's something to me, like when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
That spoke to my child self of thinking, like, when I was going to see the part 2 and it was Token Razar. I freaking love Token Razar now, but at the time it was like deflated child self being like, why is this not Bebop and Rocksteady? And I know as an adult it was like, a licensing thing, but as a kid I'm just like, this is, my birthday is ruined, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And but like, this is, it's to me is accurate of probably what we would have saw. I mean, it looks very Henson-y, and I love that it looks so Henson-y. I mean, that's
why I like it so much.
I feel like Trevor, obviously, we're homies. He's absolutely amazing in his crazy knowledge of all that stuff. And like, holy crap, the man himself, Brandon Gash.
There he is.
On screen. Great show. Soon. Doors open, bro. I'll hit you up after the show, my friend, as always.
Yeah.
Just send Brandon the link.
Right. All right.
He'll show up.
Yeah.
But I think that's been one of the big things is what if, like,
for sure.
Trevor had put out, or the turtle team over there had kind of put out the what if April in the jumpsuit that I used the Ripley and came. Then I was like, I was chomping at the bit for that. I'd be lying if I didn't say. And then that one kind of poof disappeared. But
they'll bring it back though. They do that though, where stuff just shows up and then disappears and comes back 5 years later as a board game, right? So.
That's what I'm hoping we get. I'm hoping maybe that the Bebop and Rocksteady will be the gateway to more stuff. Because I know you and I have talked in the past about, like, looking at some of the stuff that's popped up, that you made at Super 7. There are some of the what if figures that came out. The alternate heads, the alternate, like all that stuff has been such a cool thing.
I was waiting to see how long it would take you to mention the Ace Duck thing. We only made it less than 30 minutes in, everybody.
But I'll put it this way. Okay, that for me,
it's not about you. I'm making fun of Ethan.
Fair.
It's I am predictable.
That alternate look though and stuff was so fucking cool. And like, my dad was Air Force, so like he loved watching like airplane movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like getting that head has never left the Ace Duck that is on the display over there. I ended up having to buy a second Ace Duck so that I could have like a classic looking
one,
So I was like, oh, what up?
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, if it makes you, I somehow this always blows Ethan's mind, and I'll tell you the same thing I told him.
Sexy.
He was like, "Oh, was this like the original drawing from the thing?" And I was like, "No, I just made the. I thought it would look cool with a cigar and like a pilot's cap. Like that was it." And then you showed me the thing. I was like, "Oh, wow, look at that! I guess that's in there."
Kidding.
It was uncanny. I mean, this one, because this happened over and over, right? Because it was the same thing with Gorilla, right? Where I was like, "Here's the concept art of that." You're like, "No, this was just we just
having fun." And you're like, "What?" Yeah. So that was
just incredible. and
I gotta say, part of me always wants to like mess with you, and be like, "No, I made that up," and you'd be like, "What? No, but the thing, like, it actually was just that's the thing. Like we always talk about, it's just like the stuff that works like makes sense. Like I'm not jumping to any like bold new conclusions or whatever. Like I'm retreading stuff that guys did 40 years ago.
The funny thing is, my brain, as soon as I saw that head sculpt, went to John Belushi in 1941, and because he has the stogie, he has the helmet, he has the goggles, and that was one that I watched probably too many times as a young child.
Sure,
like that is a big reason why I have that head on there. Yeah, it's just like for me,
a lot of it was the cigar was like, I don't know, I really wanted him to have a Tommy gun because he's supposed to be like from the 40s or whatever, right? That's all I wanted. That was my number one like ad. That was like the first thing I put in there. And I was like, oh, we need like an alternate head because we just like an alternate head because it's like, you know, his normal one's just kind of like goofy, like deer in the headlights or duck in the headlights or whatever, right? And so that's why I gave him like the mean like and like the like cigar like for the machine gun head. That was it. So
it worked, man. I mean, like, but I think that was always the fun thing is I always jokingly called the alternate heads Kyle heads because I was just like, because you had the traditional one, and after talking to you the first time about some of the turtle stuff, I was like, son of a bitch, like this is cool. There's just the Kyle head, like there's the alternate take that you know that it hits, and boy oh boy, there's.
I can't take credit for all of them. The core turtle ones were like the Four Horsemen did those basically just on their own, which is great. The first one that I really started with was the April head, and then the like not like the more closer to cartoon redhead one rather than the like the brunette thing. And then like it was from there I started doing more like the samurai mask and that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say like the stuff that went that I like it took it that next step.
Sure,
that makes sense. Like it because you had the one OG like looking one, and then you had the fun updated one that you know you could take this figure that you had as a kid that's now a big toy, and you can make it something cool and something cooler, and make it as an individual.
Well, and all that. I mean, all that off the wall kind of stuff to me is like I would get I'd have the figures in hand. I'd be like, this feels like Kyle in hand in this because it's just like, you know, I mean,
wait, how do you know what Kyle feels like? Sorry. No, anyway,
it's like a lot of the Rat King stuff, for instance, like where it's just like it's like here's
good, bad, or indifferent. Right? Kyle has his stamp on this. Yeah, fair enough.
But I guess that brings us to like what. Because of your large amount of time on the brand, like what would you say are your like top 3 that you got to work on that just kind of stick there? You know what I mean?
You make me choose. Gosh,
that he got to work on, or that were his favorite. How they turned out.
Yeah, the top 3 figures, like the end product for you, like that just like hit it home. I know you have probably. I mean,
once you can talk about
kid, but
yeah, there are ones that I did work on that never came out that are in a vault somewhere.
Someday.
But the first one that comes to mind is Wingnut and Screw Loose. Just because I had such a Batman fan, and I got to like really lean into some of the marketing and the art direction in that, and like. You know, the like alternate head with the whited out eyes and the serious expression for like brooding, and like the wired cape and like making the metal things come off of his wings, and then all the accessories and that kind of stuff. I think it turned out really well. And then like when we were doing the solicitation images, they're like Allie, who is the marketing art director at Super 7, still would always come to me and be like, hey, do you have ideas for like what you want this to look like? And I sent her, I think it's
Batman Year One.
Not Year One. It's Year One. It's similar to Year One. I can't remember who did it, but it's the one of Batman and Robin in the spotlight.
Oh, it's like that angle thing. Was that Samney?
Yeah, something like somebody like that.
Yeah.
But it's Batman and Robin. They both have their capes up in like the spotlight, and I was like, just do this, but Wingnut and Screw Loose. And if you look at this, if you Google that, the Super 7 Wingnut Screw Loose, it'll probably be one of the first images that show up, and that's like one of my favorite ones that I got to do.
And it got a glow in the dark variant.
It did, yeah. Whether you need it or not, it's there.
I have them all. You're light up the night over there.
Very good, very good. So I'm trying. I think the Gorilla Gorilla one is really fun, just because I got to like really invent so much of that. You know, because he's in 4 panels or whatever.
Yeah,
in the whole series or whatever.
Killed it, man.
Alex really like. I didn't know. The fun thing is that I didn't know I was working with Alex at the time.
Yeah,
I was just doing it with 4 Horsemen. So
And I love that the weapon, the accessories are like the size of like real life. Like this to me is like the size, almost the size of a Nerf gun. Like
the hands he comes with are like actual baby hands. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah.
He's ginormous. He's so much. But he was fun, and that was like when I really got to just get into like the pure, just sort of like creation of it all. Where it was like we always design so much stuff, and then you cut to like what's going to be like the thing, because not everything works. For him, I originally wanted him to come with a Larry the Lemur that was like a little buddy, because I know that everybody likes little buddies in that line, and you were going to be able to like pull off his head and like put it in the bazooka so you could like fire the monkey.
I'm just going to remove Geeky for a moment, otherwise he's going to cut us.
Yeah, he's going to lose. But there was a bunch of stuff. We had like a mortar and like all this stuff, and so you cut it down to like think about how much stuff comes with that gorilla, and it's like we cut a bunch of stuff, but he comes with like basically the whole kitchen sink,
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say the pack out on that is
that would have been incredible. Well, I mean, I remember, was it a couple years ago at this point, we were talking about there maybe being like an accessory pack with like the little buddies.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. I think sales just never justified it happening, because like there was the Wave 6 accessory pack with all the mousers and stuff, and it just sold okay. You could always get that on clearance. I know you have like 87 of them. I think you bought most of the stock, Dave.
I broke 100, brother.
You bought 20 of those, so you have over 100.
So real quick, I have to give a shout out, because I actually got a sponsor for the channel now. Shout out to Midwest Vintage Toys. I have the final 2 packs that are sitting back there to open up. I can open them up on stream, but technically, I think I figured out I have 107, because I have the packs, and then I have one that came with Baxter Stockman, and one that came with the glow in the dark Baxter Stockman.
Yeah.
So 100.
So you bought 21 packs, and you have 2 Baxters.
I can safely say, thankfully, I was gifted almost all of those.
Hey man, I'm not your wife. Like,
I know.
To me.
Okay.
Ours is 130.
There was a Griffin and Rippin stream on here where, I shit you not, if I got a package from BBTS, and I was like, who is this from? And my brother had gotten me, I think, 4 packs, because they were on sale like one time.
Yeah.
And I had ordered 4 packs, because I was
just spent the whole Grip and Rippin' just opening.
Yeah, I was just opening mousers. It was great. Amazing. I have so many shurikens and fucking size and daggers and punch daggers.
You have an army of karate rats.
No, yeah, it's great. Actually, my son has a handful of them. Like, so my 8-year-old, I'll see him playing upstairs, and it'll be like, oh no, the foot soldier is coming. I'm just like, oh shit. It's Ratnall.
Amazing.
But yeah, so that, and so many remotes, and so many baby tools, and so many. My 2-year-old.
You really should only need 1 remote for all of them.
Oh, I modified one into the clicker for Hudson for the NECA figure.
Yeah, there you go.
So that he could have a remote.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a chair for him?
Huh?
Do you have the because he's not.
Can't sit down with his tail.
Yeah, I know.
I may have digitally sculpted something that once I get my printer up and running, he'll have a chair.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Just take the tail out; it pops right out.
That's true. I don't know.
But you still don't have the folded wings, which he folds them when he sits in the chair.
Mm-hmm. Damn it. Okay, outside of the accessory pack. Sorry, that was. No,
it's good. It's good. So I've named 2 of them, and then what's the third one?
By the way, I found the Lemmy 5.5 today, and
good, very good.
I was very excited.
I guess Party Wagon kind of counts, right?
Yeah,
because that was cool. Because like similar to Gorilla, there was a lot of like invention in there. Like 4 Horsemen did a lot of the work, and I think a guy named Joe Amaro did most of that sculpting on that van. And then David, same guy who sculpted the 2003 Shredder and a bunch of other stuff I mentioned, he had to go in and like re-sculpt a bunch of stuff and like make sure the walls were correctly aligned and all of that stuff. And there it is. Yeah, mine's right here.
Yeah.
He like David's an incredible engineer. Like there's literally like nothing he can't make work in plastic. And so like if you want something that's gonna like work functionally exactly how you want it, like you give it to David. But so he did a bunch of that stuff, and like while he was doing that, it was like, oh, let's add like, what if we there he is, what's up, Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
Kyle I didn't like. He like I got this kind of hand-me-down, like this assignment from Flynn where it was like let's think about what accessories could come with it to like kind of zhuzh it up. And I tried to think of it as like a figure.
Yeah.
And so at one point I did like a weapon rack that was like made out of like lead pipes, because that's when we were doing the weapon racks, and then we had to stop because of licensing stuff or whatever. But that's where like all the toolkits come from, that come with the party wagon. And so I got to, as much as I like wanted to invent stuff, I also kind of wanted to think of it sort of as like almost an accessory for Donnie, because I'm selfish and I like Donnie so much. And so one of my friends is an auto mechanic, and he fixes bikes and goes on a road and all that stuff. And I called him. I was like, hey man, like if you had like one kit that you could bring with you to like fix anything at any time, anywhere in the world, but you had like 10 tools, like what would you bring? He goes,
you want me to grab the toolbox?
Right over there. Yeah, he was like, like acetylene torch, like dead blow mallet, the like bow types of screwdrivers, these kinds of wrenches, blah blah blah. And I just like wrote it all down, like, and that's what comes in the thing with Donnie. And then like a plunger too, because it's turtles. It needs to be a joke.
And okay, I know I probably sound like I'm beating a dead horse. Yeah. The smashed mouser is like, is chef's kiss. Like that is.
Thank you.
Like it's such a goofy thing, but it also works as a chuck to stop the damn tire from turning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, cool, it's not moving now.
That was part of it. Yeah. If you mine's in there, and it like keeps it from falling off. Yeah. Exactly. No, that was a fun one. And so I just did a bunch of stuff. So like I did the kit parts. There was a version of it that was like had a pizza launcher attachment to it that looked like the pizza launcher, but it wasn't. It was just like bridge too far, and like it's got the tow hook on there, which I thought was cool. But I wanted them to all come with skateboards so they could like sewer ski or whatever, like pull from the back and that kind of stuff. And like the pizza spinning rims, like was me, and the Safari windows and that kind of stuff. So
it's fun.
I know you don't do the third party thing, but there was a third party set that was 2 cheapskates and 2 mousers that came out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And so I grabbed 2 sets of those so I could have a cheapskate for each of the turtles. And the mousers are just really cool because they're superposable. They have die casting and stuff. Yeah. So you can really pose the shit out of them.
Not addicted to mousers whatsoever.
No. I have a problem, Kyle. It's an infestation at this problem. But like that was one thing that I was always like hoping, like holding out hope for, is I was like, please make a cheapskate, because that was always
who knows, they still could. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. I won't, but they could. So, but
I feel like those were like that, like seeing the turtle van. Like I don't remember how, but I ended up seeing like it was one of the initial designs. Maybe it was from like a toy fair or something, or it was shown off somewhere. I was like, holy shit, that looks cool. And then I saw the like prototype, and I was like, what? Like, and it looked really weird to me. And then the moment that I saw it in person, though, I was like, oh, okay, fuck me, I'm wrong. Like, that's just I ate my words, because that thing is super fun. But no, that is a I mean, a super solid top 3. Obviously, you have many more that you worked on, but
there's 3 honorable mentions I would do as well. The Robo, Bebop, and Rocksteady were a lot of fun to do, and to the point where like I had like a bunch of stuff that was really cool and like inventive, and then you had to cut it down because they were so much bigger and stuff. And that's when like the pricing on factory started getting cranked up, and so you had to kind of be a little bit more wary of that kind of stuff. But some of it like was a little too much. Some of it was good, was pretty cool. So like Robo Rocksteady, he's got that like that orange arm blade or whatever. It's not supposed to be an arm blade. It's supposed to go where his horn goes. You're supposed to be able to pull the horn out and put that. It's like a laser horn because he's a rhino. For whatever reason, that never made it. It was a bridge too far. Nobody liked it, and so it was just like, all right, arm blade, whatever.
I got a Dremel and some spare time.
That's kind of what I want to do with mine, because that is what it was originally intended for. It was just a big old laser horn. But it was like I paired it with like, he had that, and then he had like tank tread skates, so he could like bash through stuff. And then Robo Bebop was going to come with like like the commando style like 4 rocket launcher, but it was also like a boombox thing.
Oh shit!
But that was like right after we had gotten the costing back on Gorilla, and they were like, "You're gonna make a thing this big?" Like, no.
Yeah. So, Michael Palmer asks, "You work on the Muckman figure? That thing is a work of art."
So 4 Horsemen did a lot of the design work on that, almost all of it, and then I did like the QC kind of stuff. And like, he was so big that you didn't really like get to add too much like wacky stuff to him at that point.
With a lot. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of little Easter eggs on it. Yeah.
But it's on him. It's not like little. It's he's got one gun, 2 hands, and then the backpack and Joe.
Yeah,
right. So, which is pretty pared down if you really think about it. I mean, compared to like Gorilla or whatever. So,
I mean, but those like big chunky like figs were some of my favorites in the line.
Chunky ones are the ones that I think people will judge the line for specifically.
Yeah, that Slash figure is the only figure that drew blood on me that year, because
that one's fun. And I talked about this on Turtle Tracks, but Slash is basically the one that I was like the least involved in. I worked with the 4 Horsemen concept artist, and I was like, oh, we should add like a katana and like an alternate head with the like turtle like gritting with like teeth on either side of the closed mouth thing. So it's like he's like more turtly, and I wanted weapons that mirrored every single turtle brother in one pack. So that's why he got like a nunchuck and like a katana and that kind of stuff. And you got to think of the names, like Crooked Katana is I think what I called it, and that kind of stuff. But we sent that art to 4 Horsemen, and they had Eric Treadaway do it, one of the founding fathers of that company, and like
one of the 4.
Yeah, one of the 4. And he did it in like a day. Because apparently he's like the world's biggest Slash fan. It's like one of his favorite characters. Like Slash and Slythe are like his 2 favorite characters like ever.
Damn.
And he did both of those figures. And the Slash he did was like, I've never gotten just like a perfect figure before. And I was like, yeah, this is approved. Like, why can't you do this all the time? Why do I have to go through and like get the C team when like Eric is just sitting in the wings? And I don't know. It was fun. It was cool. And I that was one of the highlights of working with Super 7, was getting to work with the 4 Horsemen, who I had admired for years before that. Oh, and then the last honorable mention I have before we can move on is I feel like not a ton of people liked it, which is fine, but the sewer or Ninja Nomad Leonardo is what we called it. The one with like the trash can head and the thing. It's widely known, or not widely. Most people know that I do not like Leonardo. It's my least favorite turtle. That's fine, but like that was the beginning of like a whole new team of turtles, and so in that we had like I got the opportunity to design all 4 at once rather than just here's Leo all by himself, and so it was like when I think of that figure, I don't think of just the Leo, I think of the 4 that I got to do at once, and I don't think I can talk about them at this point. Maybe if there's a world in the future where I could post them, we'll talk about it. But well, thank you. But it was very cool to get to do like all 4 turtles, new iterations. No one's ever done that before in toy form, and try and think sort of like a vintage Playmates designer and that kind of stuff. And I got to sort of do it with the Ninja April as well a little bit, and sort of invent some stuff and all that. But doing it with all 4 brothers was really cool. So it's not so much that I'm focusing on that Leo. It's the exercise of doing all 4 at once. Yeah.
Poor Ned, I'm with you there. Pour a few out for the turtles that didn't make it.
Thank you.
Someday Someday. Those will come to light, and it'll be a glorious day.
Maybe. Yep.
I know that you made a shit ton of people happy with that line in particular, along with a bunch of the other stuff that you've done in the past, obviously.
Sure.
But I know in the past, so since I started doing this, like there's always been a fucking Super 7 on, there was always one of your figs that made it into the top 10 because it was like, look at it.
Sure.
Damn it. Like, just freaking out.
Well, but thank you. That's very kind.
I guess moving on from that again, because you are an avid collector and whatnot, as I'm guessing in your background.
I'm holding on to this for somebody. These aren't mine.
It's my friends. I swear to God.
Yeah. Fell off the truck.
What pieces stand out in your collection for you as a collector? Like, what are the things that I don't know, not necessarily inspire you, but those things that just make you excited about, being a collector, about, doing what you do?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of stuff. There's definitely some like works that I like that are mine that I'm proud of. Some of the Godzilla stuff, like the Dark Horse Godzilla that I did for Art Adams.
Yeah.
Most of the Turtle line was really cool because I got to meet Art Adams through that opportunity, and like I have talked about it before, but I credit that run with like the reason I started being an artist, because my grandpa bought me those comics when I was a kid, and I just started copying them, and it's kind of been downhill from there. A bright future as an accountant shattered. So
Art Adams is a wonderful and grouchy man.
He's so nice, though. Anytime I talk to him, he's so cool.
But he puts up that wall pretty good, though.
Yeah,
like when you first come up, you're like,
he's great at the Heisman a little bit.
Yeah. Stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah. Sorry. What else am I thinking? No, you're good. A lot of it though lately is just like stuff that's like more sentimental, or like it meant something more. So like that opportunity with like to work with Art Adams was so cool, and then like you can kind of see it here. But a friend of mine a couple years ago had like a reaction figure of me made, like a custom one. Which was very cool of him to do, and like that's the only one, so that's pretty fun. And then I mean there's definitely some like other stuff. Like I have a Batmobile. Remember the DC Direct animated series Batmobile, the like 112th one.
So I have
so I have the original one, but I have it signed by both Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, which is cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So because Paul Dini showed up to my last job like just in the office one day, and somebody like gave me like a hint that he was going to be there, and he was like, we were working on Harley Quinn stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, let me show you, because at that time I was running that collectibles department. I was like, oh yeah, let me show you all the Harley Quinn stuff we're doing. And I like got to show him around, and I was like, and what there's a Batmobile here with a silver Sharpie? That's so weird. I mean, if you want to sign it, go for it.
Oh no, you tripped.
Yeah, he was super cool about it though.
Hell yeah.
And then I remember having to like carry that Batmobile in my backpack, which if anybody knows what that, it's like 2.5 feet long. It's not a small thing. And I had to like carry that through Comic-Con to Bruce Timm's thing, like his booth, and like get him to sign it. And because I remember somebody had told me, I was like, oh, I want to get both of them to sign it. And somebody was like, if you're going to get him to sign it, like make sure like somebody was like, make sure this guy signs it first or whatever, else the other one won't do it. Or whatever.
This has got to be a specific order.
I don't think that any of that's true, because I for sure am 99% positive that I did it in the wrong order, and they both signed it anyways. So it doesn't matter.
Also, if there was ever a place where someone carrying around a friggin' Batmobile in their backpack wouldn't look out of place,
Comic-Con is the place. Yeah,
just throwing it out there.
Yeah. And then like the blue space Godzilla, the like Trendmasters homage one of my favorites. That's like a very specific, like, I remember this toy, like this is for me. So
the funny thing about that figure, that is a figure that I owned for a total of 2 days for one of my buddies, who he is an accountant, actually, funny enough.
There you go.
He came over and he goes, Dave, what's that? And I go, that's Space Godzilla. And he goes, no, what is that? Like, and he picked it up, and this like the joy that like just watched wash over. Like, I've known this dude since 4th grade.
Yeah.
Like, and I hadn't seen that look on his face probably since back then. And he was like freaking out and like playing with it. And like we were down here, we were playing board games and stuff like that. And he kept on like picking it up. And at the end of the night, because I got it from like, I think I got it from the comic shop. I was like, here you go, man. Like, just enjoy. Happy whatever. Awesome. Happy life. Enjoy.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday.
I went, oh God, was it a couple of months back? Unfortunately, his dad passed away. I had stopped by to meet up with him for lunch.
Yeah.
He's pretty high up in what he does. And he has fucking Space Godzilla sitting on his desk. And I'm like,
hell yeah.
Hell awesome. Yeah. Yeah, get some looks, but if I'm ever having a shitty day, I look at that thing and I just smile. I'm like, there you go. That's why you do what you do.
That's the move. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, that's great. So I don't know. It's just a lot of little like one-offs here and there. I've been getting into like poster collecting because I'm trying to do like more poster jobs because I just find it more fun, and getting involved in the music scene and like heavy metal and that kind of stuff just because it brings me joy. I'm glad that I kind of started doing some of that stuff on the side just because like, and I did it for free for a lot of people, like because there's a lot of great local bands out here like in SoCal area that just have just horrendous merch. It's just not good at all whatsoever. And I was like, let me help you guys. Like, this could be so much better. So I've been working with some of them, which has been a lot of fun.
That has been one of the lovely. Okay, I love metal. Yeah, I'm a punk and ska kid, so it was one of those things of like ska bands always have like local cartoonists and stuff that are doing their shit for them, and I'm like, come on, metal folk, like figure your shit out. Like I go to a show and I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at here.
And a lot of it is so much, and I'm just as guilty of this when I do illustration stuff. A lot of it is, more skulls. All right, cool.
Yeah,
which is fine, but it works. It's know your audience. So I have so many shirts that are black with skulls on them. This might be one of the few that do not. So
I was gonna say, but it speaks volumes. Freelance.
Yeah, it works.
Plus, you got
one of my friends made this shirt actually.
It's badass. Yeah, but you got to work with Ghost. You got to do four figures?
5.
5?
5. So 5 ultimates.
Okay.
And
the reaction figures?
Yeah, and the entire reaction line was mine too. And that's actually the reson I took the job at Super 7.
Oh, really?
Was Ghost. Yeah, so I've told the story before, but I'll do it for you. No, you're good. It's a fun story for those who may or may not have heard it. I forget. So I was between jobs, and that's when I was working on the Mythical Metalheads between jobs. And a friend of mine, you guys probably know him too, Daniel Pickett, Action Figure Insider.
Hey.
He was like, hey man, like, did you see that like Super 7's looking for an industrial designer or whatever? Like, you should apply. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. Do you know them? He was like, yeah, man, I'll do like a email introduction for you. And so Daniel really helped me get that job at Super 7 and introduced me to Flynn and Josh. And they're like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, do you want to like, wonder, or it was Designer Con was coming up in November or whatever at the time, or October. Yeah. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. They're like, yeah, shut up. Designer Con's coming up. Like, we'll have a booth. Like, do you want to like come interview there? I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Can you get me in? They're like, yeah. So they got me a badge, which was great. And so I go, and it's a convention. I'm not going to wear like a suit to a convention or anything like that. It'd be super hot. And so I was in like my battle jacket, and I had like a Ghost shirt on and wearing jeans and whatever. And talking to Flynn and Josh, and just talking about toys and figures. And I remember I specifically printed out Ethan that Minotaur figure to show them. You're like, oh yeah, I make them in my spare time. You should pay me to do it for you. And obviously it worked, but they were talking about, I was like, oh, so like, what would I like if I joined tomorrow, like what would my job, what would I be working on? Like, what's the job look like? That's that's the advice I give anybody who does interviews, is like, ask questions, because the interview is not them interviewing you. You are interviewing them. Like, you need to make sure that they're not crazy also. You know, I know that it feels like you're desperate or whatever, but like ask questions because that's how you find out. That's how you find your red flags early, you know? So I asked him, I was like, what would I be working on? They're like, oh, well, I don't know. If you join tomorrow, maybe some Ninja Turtles or some Transformers or whatever. This was like before, this was 6-7 years ago, like when the reaction lines hadn't even started yet. And I was like, oh, cool. And they're like, oh, yeah, like, what are you kind of into? I was like, oh, I'm into heavy metal or whatever, and like this stuff. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Like, we're working on some heavy metal figures right now. I was like, oh, really? Like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, like Motorhead and Slayer, cool. And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what you should do is you should make ghost figures. And I like pointed at my shirt, and they kind of like side-eyed each other and like, we already are. And I was like, what? And I was like, can I see it? And Josh was like, yeah, I guess. And so he pulled it up. He had the sculpts on his phone. He showed me the photo, and I was like looking at him. I was like, well, that's wrong, and this is stupid, and like that looks bad, and you should fix this. And they're like, okay, thanks, nerd. Like, we'll be in touch. That was it. Nailed it. Yeah, and I was like, cool. I totally just like insulted them to their face and told them their figure looked stupid. But they gave me the offer, and one of the first things I did like within the month of joining the team, and that was October. I joined in February of 2019. Within a month they had me like fixing the things I was saying
running through
needing to get fixed. So
also I gotta throw a real quick cheap plug. Daniel Pickett and Kyle Peterson will be joining me at Des Moines Con for a Let's Talk Toys panel.
Hey, there you go.
That I scheduled out. So Action Figure Insider, Kyle Peterson, and myself will be up there talking, and we might have the ever elusive Land Pitts joining as well. So it'll be a hell of a fun time. But when you brought up Daniel, I was like, oh shit! Like, I was gonna pop the Emperor comment up, but I was like, I don't know if that's gonna make Kyle laugh or just be angry.
No, as much as I get the memes or whatever of that, which he had a pretty good meme comment before that one too.
Yeah.
Like I've only been asked to do free stuff like while I was in college.
Yeah.
I have not been like solicited as hard as some of my friends have in that regard.
Like you're lucky.
So, I guess, but you know, I don't really have the most welcoming looking face either, as Ethan and you can attest in person. So
I do okay. Shit. I'm trying to think of what it was. Comic-Con. One of my buddies was with me, and I had gone up and I was shooting the breeze with you, and like after we left, he goes, "I'm not gonna lie, dude. I thought that guy was gonna fight you when you walked up," and I'm just like, "No, it's just Kyle."
Like, yeah, usually when I'm at a convention, specifically when I was at conventions for Super 7, I was usually not stoked because I was always like working the line and blah blah. And I was like, man, like 5 years of art school for this, whatever. But I was always excited to see, you know, friends like you guys. So, but I just and I typically have like a don't talk to me, like I don't care if your card is bent, go bug somebody else, kind of attitude.
It's like it's only 1 in 4 chance that you're actually going to get in like a fist fight with
it's the threat is never zero, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Always climbing slowly climbing. But I think that was always something fun though, is like again seeing you, rather getting to know you as not only someone from there, but also getting to know you as a collector, as a as a friend in the scene. Like it's always been fun as someone who also does like the creative side of things. It's always fun to see someone doing what they love, and it's really easy to tell that they're passionate about it, and like seeing what you produced and what you were putting out there. Like in any of the aspects was always one of those things that was really exciting, you know, and like I cannot wait to see what happens next for you.
Well, thank you. You and me both.
Yeah.
Who knows? So
onward,
should be interesting though. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Ethan, I've been talking over you all stream. I'm gonna let him off the chain, Kyle. Are you ready?
I mean,
I'm prepared.
Here's the thing.
Anyways, sorry. Okay, sorry. Last time.
No. Well,
there, my hands are up. There you go.
As is always the case, I have like infinite questions. The thing here is I don't know what I can ask and what I can't. So I
have no problem telling you, hey, I can't answer that.
Yeah. So. Well, and so I guess one of the questions I would have is were there, it just as like you have your favorites, were there ones that characters that you wish that you would have, that you were like on your top list of ones you wanted to get to that you never got to get to?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you like me to tell you which ones?
Can you tell me which ones? I mean, that's
no, I can tell. Yeah. I think I can tell you which ones I wanted to do. I can't tell you which ones I did and didn't come out.
Yeah.
Sure. I wanted to do more than anything. I want to do a ground chuck, surprising nobody. And of course, if you do ground chuck, you got to do dirt bag, right? Because it's a pair. Of course.
Twitch COJ, go get them. Sorry.
I mean, what else? Yeah, I mean that's the big one for me at least. Like I feel like nobody else cares about ground chuck, but I love ground chuck.
First of all, I think there's a lot of folks that would have loved to have seen that. But secondly, I mean, especially if it was you doing it.
Sure.
Right.
And I just throw it out there. It took me into my 20s to realize why he was called ground chuck.
Yeah. No, it was a minute. Well, because it used to be called bullseye, which I guess is like too obvious.
Yeah. But I just remember being I don't remember, maybe like I was at a show and someone was like, "Hey, can you draw ground chuck?" And I was like the bull from Ninja Turtles. He's like, "Yeah, the ground chuck," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "I got you, yeah."
Yeah,
I'm like, I felt like the biggest tool bag. It was great.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to think about. I mean, I feel like you got to do an Android Krang. That we never got to do that.
Man,
that kind of stuff.
I'm curious if we'll see that big sumbitch from NECA that they showed off, because it's been a minute now.
But I ask about every time I talk to
thank you, Shaggy,
Randy or whoever, I always ask him. I was like, "Where's the big Krang? I want that." So no answers. That's okay.
I always feel like I remember going into Comic-Con and like every time I was walking away, I'd bump into some like other folks from like the toy tuber scene, or just collectors and buddies and stuff like that. And like in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, what would a nerd Ocean's 11 look like? Because like at the end of the day, it would be like,
oh
fucking
man,
run! Like, it wouldn't be graceful. We wouldn't be hiding people in crates. It would be the most smack slapdash.
Yeah, exactly. I think some of that happens at Toy Fair. I think it was last year or the year before that. Like some dude stole a bunch of prototypes from Toy Fair. Yeah, because it's just kind of an open thing. If you could get into the building, there's like mall cops or whatever that kind of roam the thing at night, but it's not closed off or locked except for the outside doors. Yeah. So I think Premium DNA lost a bunch of stuff, and like a couple other smaller companies had like prototypes like stolen, which is crazy.
Damn. Yeah, that's messed up.
Because what's that black market? It's like anybody who it would be worth anything to knows exactly what that is.
Yeah,
and probably reports
exactly who made it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mystery solved.
Not a great plan. Yeah.
Bootcat's already putting the plan into works. You got to get somebody who isn't a toy tuber but who's a fan to do the smash and grab, so it'll be harder to ID the person. Nerds Ocean 11 is going to be me and Robo stealing Matt's Soundwave prototype. Nice.
There you go.
But I don't know.
They have a disclaimer: don't do these things.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do we really have?
We do not.
The opinions voiced here on the Dave Wonder streams are not necessarily those of Dave Wonder. That's me. So don't be a dick. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Anyways,
wait, Geeky. That's what.
Yeah, I was gonna say Geeky, dude.
Is that an Untouchables reference?
Good Lord, what kind of money do they hope to make from stolen prototypes? Very true.
I think it's just at that point. I think it's a crime of passion. I think it's like I love She-Ra so much, no one else can have her but me.
My God.
Yeah.
Well, whoever got the Zitz prototype. Never mind.
Oh man, though. Did they ever show that? By the way,
no. I don't think they did. We were talking about that. I think on Wednesday, and it was just it's heartbreaking when you get 2 out of the 3.
It's gonna bug me. Well, I suggested using your Genghis, right, as like the third, doing a mod up, right?
But By the way, dude, that Genghis's eyes still freak me out, like in the best way possible. Like they make me uneasy.
That's what it looks like, man. It's the vintage toys. Like it's supposed to look like that. I had more people giving me flack for the like zesty what that tongue do head on Genghis than anything else.
It was the best.
The thing is, I have that thing, like I have the tongue head on, and I have a mouser clip to the end of it. Like just
somehow grosser.
Well, I have a bunch of mousers like kind of piling on him because he's one of the big figs.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a mouser piled on everything in every display.
a little bit.
Yeah,
it's really
there's probably a mouser on top of that giant man behind you.
No.
not yet.
Shut up.
He's like,
I may or may not have attempted to make a mouser like wave, like in the cartoon where they
that's cool.
So I hot glued a bunch of them together, and I had it on the display for about 2 weeks, and like one by one I'd just hear like top, 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 and I'm like, shit, like they're just popping apart. Like,
so you made a mouse king where they're just like an amalgam.
Yeah, pretty much,
dude.
So I have a NECA Street Dio and then 4 Wall XD units that I put together to make the side of a building. I was gonna say, shout out to Mike.
Yeah, that's right, Mike.
I gotta get him back on here too. It's been a minute. He is not only has High School Creations always been a very big supporter of the channel, he's also been very generous on the marathon streams, donating some Wall XD units for the prizes. I felt like a true dickhead because on the 24-hour marathon stream, I ended up winning them. So I ended up raffling them off to the COJ of like, I'm so sorry. Like I donated for one and more Wall XDs.
Amazing.
Yeah, good time.
Accidentally winning.
Hey, I drew everything live on the stream, okay?
I know.
I felt like such a prick. I was like, I'm so sorry. But I mean, Geeky, take over for a second. I'm tongue tied.
Well, here's what I was thinking, because it's like they get so many different versions of the Mausers, right? That have like, okay, there's like the Mother Mauser, right, from the old video games, and there's like from Shredder's Revenge, there's that new kind of Mauser thing that has like the Mauser arms, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, like, you could almost do like if you had those robots from the Playmates, those and if you being you having all these extra Mausers, you could mock up something like that.
Oh,
that
definitely.
Might be, but it's more surprising to me that there hasn't been like, okay, I think the go-to is always like the standard Mauser as the Mauser that folks want to go to. But I think it's like there's I'm like me being me. I'm like, I want the stuff that has been done less, if that makes sense. I know, right? So just
and Ethan's so kind, and he always fronts the money for the run of 10,000 pieces himself. Yeah. That's why he's got so many toys.
That's just my spirit. That's what I do.
It's like, sure, we'll make Keldor, but Ethan bought all of them.
I have to say, I'm not gonna lie. I have not a life-size one, but my friend printed me off one that I'm turning into a lamp.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
I wanted to make a life-size Mauser with the supersize vinyls that they do. But I mean, it might still happen. Who knows? I brought it up a bunch of times, but because I mean, it's like the 16 inches is kind of the size,
Perfect.
So, yeah. Well,
damn it, Kyle, you tease. I guess I'm kind of running through everything in my brain that I wanted to talk about. Then we went on lovely tangents as you do when you're talking with friends.
But
Ethan will take over. He's literally oozing out. There's so many questions.
I'll be back here.
I'm moving aside. I'm letting you ask all the questions that you want to ask. But I'm like, here's like, there's a lot of things that I'm excited to know about too, in terms of like, there's so much cool turtle product out there right now, which is like such a freaking fun time to be a turtle fan. And so is there like regardless of where it's coming from, do you have some that have just kind of made your mouth like drop, right? And you're like, oh, that's going on my shelf immediately, like from the stuff that you've seen coming out.
Yeah, so I mean, like I have a lot of the movie turtle stuff because I have like a real appreciation for how those look. So I have like the Toka and Razar 2-pack, and then the Super Shredder. Like, it's just a great like top shelf like thing because it looks exactly like the thing, and they move well and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean that's mostly, and then I have like all of the stuff, but I actually really enjoyed the. I have them all too. The Last Ronin, the brothers or whatever. Yeah. So like the flashback turtles where they have like the like tactical like police riot gear kind of stuff. Like everything about that was really cool, and like the Wrath and stuff. So I have all of those, and I have the Splinter from that as well. And like I really enjoyed those. I think those are really fun turtles.
Have you ever gotten to meet Ben, the artist?
No, I have not met Ben before.
We'll talk.
We're just about to be like, and here's Ben.
I'm just saying, you two doing something together would be fucking insane, turtle wise or otherwise.
Yeah, it could be fun. Yeah, I'm willing to talk to anybody at this point.
So. Oh, what up, Kev? How's it going,
Kevin? What's up?
Welcome, my friend. Another fella who needs to get on here sometime too. But man, like, yeah, we are in this weird golden age.
Yeah.
I don't know what just fell above me, but
I heard something too. That was good.
Yeah, it was like, but like, yeah, like Geeky was saying, we live in this weird like golden era of collectibles. Outside of the turtle stuff, like outside of the movie stuff and the Last Ronin line, like what are several figures or several things that are coming up just in general that you're excited for that you kind of have your eyeballs on?
Sure. I mean, it's a weird time for me right now, just because I'm trying to be responsible, and we likely may have to move and that kind of stuff. So I actually the day I was like, I actually canceled all of my pre-orders, so I don't have anything coming out right now.
That's fair.
But there's some really interesting stuff in the Godzilla world that's happening right now with specifically a place called Haya Toys is doing some pretty exceptional Godzilla work.
I was gonna ask.
A friend of mine in the kaiju collecting community, it's kind of crazy how similar it is to the turtle stuff. He sent me this is the Shimo from Godzilla Kong Last Empire. Yeah, and like she's super articulated. She's really cool. And what's crazy though, and it's kind of hard to see, but like her paint job is like kind of iridescent on the whites and the blues. You kind of see that on those spikes or whatever. And it's just like, it's crazy. So stuff like this really is interesting to me because like I think this character is not all that cool looking, and it's kind of like a weird throwaway. Like I'd rather you just give me like a classic Toho monster.
That's a doggy
kaiju. Yeah, this toy doesn't. This figure doesn't have to go as hard as it does. But that's kind of the Haya magic right now. And they're doing. I had to cancel my pre-order for it, so I was really bummed out. But they just it's just starting to ship now. There's a Haya Heisei era King Ghidorah that's like incredible. So like the wings are huge, and the wings are bendy wire, so you can like flap them or whatever. But then, it's got the two tails and then the three heads, but like you can like write your name in cursive on with those necks. It's like they're so articulated. You can like wrap them around Godzilla, and he's like gold, and it's just giant thing. It's really cool, and it's like $100 for a toy that's like big. It's kind of crazy. So as soon as I get a real job again, I definitely really want to figure out and try and get that thing. So, but they just announced the Mecha King Ghidorah as well.
Cool.
The thing that they usually do is like they'll do like the core version, and then they'll do
the Mecha special
battle version, which will come with the beams and like a different head or something like that. So,
So sorry, go ahead, Geeky.
No, I was just saying. I mean, that's to me. It's the fact that it's like both mutated reptiles, right?
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's a good point.
It's some are just slightly bigger.
One with atomic bombs.
Yeah, easy. He can't say anything atomic in Godzilla now. It's a heat ray. It's not atomic breath anymore. Not allowed to talk about that.
My mind always goes to Shell Shock and from Power Rangers as kind of like the linker between all of it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. I some of the Power Ranger stuff I did was really fun. I really liked working on like falling in love with that brand again, and how close it is to kind of Kaiju and like the Tokusatsu type stuff with Godzilla. Somebody made a custom Shell Shock for me,
really?
and have it in my collection now, which is cool.
Oh shit!
So,
dude, that was one of those lines where I remembered them coming out and me trying to be responsible in any way, shape, or form. I'm like, I just did this with Lightning Collection. Damn it! Like, I can't do this again. And
you're gonna be even more devastated when I tell you that they made the custom Shell Shock out of a Revoltech Mikey.
Oh shit! Oh. That's a spicy custom.
That's a really expensive thing. Yeah.
Holy shit! Oh, but you know what? Cool. Okay, that's actually a really good segue. The 2012 Turtles coming from NECA.
Pretty cool.
Dude, I'm stoked for those.
I've not watched that show whatsoever in any way, but
really,
if I have these 2003 Turtles and then like the movie ones and then the Playmate ones, I feel like all right, I'll just get another. Just have all the representations.
That's a slippery slope, dude. I'm just warning you now.
I know. I need a job first.
I can say. I mean, here's the thing. I can say if with the 2003, if you like, 2003 was your jam, right? That was your era. 2012 has a lot of connectivity to that in terms of like the approach, right? So like if that was your thing and you loved it, I think that would be you're gonna get hooked on 2012 when you start on that.
Yeah, I got a lot of time now, so we'll see.
Yeah, if you need it, just give a holla.
Okay.
Send it your way to check out.
Okay.
Because it's real good. Like I loved the 03 stuff. The 03 stuff I was working at Target at the time because I was in high school, and I remember it was that thing of I watched the cartoon, but I couldn't afford the toys. So like being able to put them out on the pegs was as close as I got to the majority of those figures. So it was the thing of like I had a handful, and really I have many more because I got a collection from a dude who was selling it.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things of like 03 was just a cartoon for me in a lot of my memory. So like getting these in hand is just like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, okay. Like,
I've seen a few people post theirs with the 2003 Battle Shell.
Yep.
Like, man, that looks good because it doesn't scale exactly correctly, but it's passable and it's pretty good. And I was like,
hold on, you guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I'll be right back.
Oh, he has one, of course.
He's got the Battle Shell. Right. Yeah, dude. I mean, the 03 stuff is just like having that in my hands, and especially this new on Wednesday, I think is when I had that. I was like the same day. I was like, yes, it's Wednesday. I get to open this, right? Good. Were there some from that that were just like that were top tier in your head of like these are ones I'd want to get to immediately when you
we talked about it. I mean, Shredder for sure, because I think that's the best version of Shredder out there. I really like their Leatherhead. I really like their Casey Jones. Like when I close my eyes and think of Casey Jones, it's the 2003 one. Specifically, when I read comics, I hear the like, "Hey, I'm walking here," like real like thick Brooklyn Casey accent. So I was like that. And he's also like a super himbo in that show. Like he's super hot for no reason.
He is a gorgeous man in that show.
I know. Their Rat King is really cool. I talked about it again on Turtle Tracks, but I think some of the Triceraton stuff that they do is really cool in there. Like there's like the Gladiator stuff that they did.
There were some cut ones too. Did you know that?
I figured,
there it was like Shredditor. It was basically it was like Carell, like a conglomeration of Carell with the Triceraton.
That's
so it's
cool.
Like yeah. Oh, it's really cool.
No, the one I really want to get to. Yeah, there you go. Very good. Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it is really fucking close.
It's pretty close. Yeah. It's not the proportions would need to change a little bit, but it's pretty much there.
This one has some dust on it.
There you go. No, the one that I really wanted to get to was Shredder. Just because I think that's like one of the best designs. But then I had forgotten about this, but there's like 8,000 versions of Shredder in that show, which is kind of frustrating because they're all pretty rad. Especially Feudal Shredder is really cool because you haven't really seen that before. But then there's another one. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like a mech suit Shredder, where it's like the whole thing's a mech suit, right? Because it's an alien. I'm not stupid. I get it. But there's a version of him that's like, it's either a prototype or something, but it's like 3 times the size of the regular Shredder. It has 4 arms, and it's got like a Terminator skull and like a helmet that goes on top of it, and then Trell's in the front. And it's like this like crazy like mecha Shiva Shredder thing, and I really thought that would have been a cool toy. So
agree.
I went this route, and I ended up taking like the cartoon turtles and the turtles forever.
That's cool. Yeah, that's what I kind of like about this is I have the I have the Pizza Club turtles. So the Turtles Forever display, and this is actually your fault, Dave.
Shit.
A mutual friend of the show. Emilio.
Oh, Emilio!
Right, I think that's his name. Sent me.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, nice.
So, and he sent me 2 of them. So these are my like background displays for my 2003 Turtles.
That's dope.
So, especially this movie poster one. Now, because I'll put the cartoon Turtles in there with them, and maybe even the movie Turtles.
I snapped a couple of shots with those the other day, and like right now I'm doing some work down here in the basement and up in the garage and stuff. So like a lot of the displays have come down. So I was like, I want to put these in my diorama so bad and take shots, but my diorama is all packed right now.
Right.
So, damn it. Emperor Antonio says Hun and the Mystics would have been awesome. Agreed.
Hun, I think you need to do for sure, because he's like borderline the main villain more than Shredder is in a way.
Oh, right.
But he would also be gorilla size. He'd be like this much plastic.
Plastic.
You can visualize the hole in the ozone that figure would put.
Also, like the cool thing with Hun is like you can have Hun, and then you can put purple on any figure you fucking want, and they could be purple dragons.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's like that was what I always loved about Hun. Hun was distinctive, but like his thugs and stuff. Like I remember one time you and I were shooting the shit about some of the civilian models in the background of the 03 show. Like, those have been fun figures. That'd have been neat.
That would have been cool. But then there's like a toy line, the wrestling fan toy line, which I hadn't seen before till recently. It was really cool, and I feel like there's a bunch of stuff there that could be fun. And they kind of company. Yeah, they work. I think they work stylistically with the 03 Turtles pretty well too.
I have a couple coming in the mail.
There you go.
That I'll do some comparisons with.
Yeah.
What is it? Ultimate Wrestling fan figures. They do look a little Robot Chicken.
Yes,
but
that's a good way to put it.
I think they work.
But if they're in the background and your focal length is on the main character, then like these guys are just there to like fill seats.
Oh yeah, no,
they're super fun.
Yeah, they're super fun. They're super goofy. I love that they have cell phone holding hands.
And there's like a whole accessory kit, and exactly.
The only thing that I'm wary of, I actually was talking to Machu Toy about it earlier today because FTC they did a couple wrestling figure lines that were hot garbage because they bought tooling that Jax used to use, and then two lines, and they were rough. And then he apparently bought all of these.
Of course,
and he was like, fucking worth it. I'm like, what? All
Machu buys everything. Like, literally everything. I don't know what what.
I mean, he does.
He's like a doomsday prepper, but for toys.
Yeah. So. He shall melt his way into a fortress of plastic.
That's right.
You look
you're the best, man. I say everything I'm saying right now out of complete and utter jealousy.
Oh, dude,
not having everything.
His collection is amazing, and
it's insane. Like, I bet. Yeah,
I constantly am going like, how the fuck did you do that? That's gorgeous. Oh my god.
I'm convinced he's a drug dealer of some kind. There's
make
the money make sense, Matthew. You know.
Yeah. Actually, coincidentally enough, the next episode of Turtle Talk will feature his brother from another mother from Between Two Sentinels. J-Shot will be joining us.
I'm sorry
for this. Oh, come on now.
He's the best. Shout out to him and TMNT 1987, the other J. They sent me a birthday gift, which they did not have to do. They were very generous with their kindness. So very cool of them.
Dude, TMNT 1987 was in the chat Wednesday. An amazing dude. But yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like again, I don't want to let Geeky off the chain again. But I also don't want to
look at him, dude. He's here. This is what he's here for. I get it.
I like turtles.
Perfect. There you go.
So say we all. Say we all. But yeah, I don't know what Geeky. My brain's turned to fuzz, man. I got up way too early this morning.
Well, I mean, I think that it's like of the stuff that has been shown, right? Is there okay? I guess two things. One is like of the stuff that's been shown, is there something that is like that you are you're like, this has got to be in my collection? One. Two, is there something that you've always wanted to see made that hasn't been made, that you're like, if that was shown, I could not get that?
You know? So I can answer that second one easily. The first one, do you mean like stuff that I've done that I have to keep forever?
I mean, whatever you can talk about, right? So like I mean, if there's stuff that is with internally, or if there's stuff with every other stuff, right?
Sure.
Just as fan,
I don't know everything that happens in every company. Got it. No, it's I think I have, very fortunate that I do have most of the stuff that I like want from my time there, for sure. I mean, obviously I want, my Shredder 2003, I want my Ghost Papa 5 as well, but I have stuff like the Art Adams Godzilla and the whole turtle line and everything metal. Like if you told me I would have made like 10 plus Lemmy figures, like I wouldn't believe you.
I gotta say that the metallic finish on those aviators was one of my favorite silly things, like that. Just I don't know.
They're vac metal, man. Everybody loves vac metal.
I know.
Love to hate it or love to love it. Vac metal's there, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to get
No, you're good. Yeah, so, I mean, I love having that stuff because like I'll always keep that stuff. I think if somebody announced Metalocalypse as a figure line, I would have to buy the whole thing, no matter what my financial situation looks like. And I've talked about it before. I want to make that line really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know who.
I think you and I talked about this.
Yeah,
but exactly. But right. So I was like holding up for years because I was like, "Oh, you're teasing me. It's coming."
No. Only I care about it, apparently. So
was it friggin' it was Shocker Toys did that like one set of them, which I don't even think that got released more broadly. Yeah. But I remember that and just being like, oh my god, what are they going to do with this? And then it ended up being Shocker Toys, and the rest is history. But I had to look it up real quick because I was like, wait. Captain McKay says, how deep would you dive into a Doom line, Kyle?
Oh, man.
Icon of Sin for $400.
Yeah, I would go pretty hard on Doom if I could. I always thought it would be cool to do like a Motu 5.5 inch of the Doom. Especially because I know Hugo Martin, the game director, is such a huge like Motu fan. I always thought it would just be cool to like make it for that one guy, and somebody else would probably get it, But I also, and Captain McKay and I talk about it a lot. Like I would probably go super hard on like demons though too, because like that there's so many cool designs that nobody ever makes. McFarlane made the Marauder from Doom Eternal, but that's the only demon that they made.
I was going to say that
basically because he's just a Doom guy. That's it. Yeah, they haven't made anybody like.
Wow.
Think about like the Revenants, the Pinkies, like Icons, like all this stuff you could have done, but they haven't done any of it.
I had around my Doom guy. I have a bunch of the Daemonites from the Playmates
from
cast line.
Yes. Right. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Wild.
Can you tell I'm in a Doom phase right now? I have my Mondo one here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I just got this one in the mail.
Oh, what is that?
This is the Numbskull one. So in the game, there are part of the collectibles and secrets you can find.
Yeah,
are vinyl toys of the demons and the Doomslayer and stuff.
Oh, they just fucking made it.
And somebody just made almost every single one. I'm sure Captain McKay is typing right now telling me they didn't make all of them, Kyle. But they made most of them. So that's kind of the only way you can get the demons is from this Numbskull vinyl toy line. And actually Captain McKay did a great claymation or stop motion of Doom with those Numbskull toys and the Nendroid. So all those demons that he's fighting in that are the Numbskull toys. So
hold on,
look, we got about half of them. I was right, but I just like that you can move his arm and in the game when you pick up the toy, Doom guy picks up the toy, so it's the perspective he goes like this. That's it. It's the best. So I don't know. I thought I can just get this one. This is you just get the one vinyl toy of this guy because this is from the memes. I don't need all of the half ones exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to attempt to grab the link to this to drop in the chat.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody enjoy Captain McKay's work because it's amazing, and he did a great 2003 stop motion just today as well, which is crazy. So
fucking
immensely talented.
Yeah. Captain.
It's beauty.
Captain's been on here many a time. He's a good fellow. Sometime. Okay. New goal. Get you and Captain on here, and we can play Doom.
That's fine with us. Yeah, I'll do it.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. Have you played any of them before?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Doom Eternal was the last that I sat down. I didn't make it all the way.
Well, there's a new game you should probably play. It's very good.
Dude, I got a 2 and an 8-year-old. I know there's a new game. I want to play it.
Yeah,
I still got to beat Eternal, man.
There you go.
But imagine if you didn't play it though. It would just be Kyle and Cap just demolishing,
running house. Yeah, it'd be great.
No, we want to watch you suffer through it and then critique you like Statler and Waldorf.
Fair. What are you? Never mind.
Yeah, look at this loser. He didn't even use a shield. Oh, yeah.
Look, you idiot. But fuck. Now I kind of want to see that stream. Says Shaggy, sounds like a 24-hour stream. I'm not doing that for 24 hours, but I'd do it for part of the 24-hour stream.
I'd do that. Yeah, that's a showstopper attraction right there.
That'd be fun as hell. The funny thing is I just found it's an old disc.
Yeah.
But for my old computer, my very, very old computer, I had the X-Men mod that they were going to release as a game, and there was a pirated version that came out of it. And I thought that shit was the coolest fucking thing, but oh my god, it's terrible.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's
Bishop when he pulls out the gun, it comes out of his hip.
Yeah,
he's like, what's that?
Oh, RoboCop style. Yeah,
it's bad. But yeah, it's man, I remember playing that. Too much. Too much. But go Geeky. Just run.
Oh,
there you go.
No. I saw a thing today about TMNT 4K coming out with 1 and 2.
Yeah,
movies 1 and 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, damn it.
Are you trying to think of the company that's doing it?
I want to say Allstate.
I think it's Allstate. It's an Allstate release.
The insurance company? Probably not.
No, I think I sent it to Geeky.
Did you send that to me? Is that how I saw it?
Maybe I sent it in the chat. I don't remember.
I'm getting so excited for some of this stuff. That's I know it's
what are you guys excited about? It's not just about me.
was Radical Rejects, right? That's have you heard about this? Where it's like they're doing the concept. I mean, it's the legally distinctive concept figures that are coming out. So it's like Grizzly Grimace and but they don't. I mean, they're called something different. I think it's working with the original.
This is interesting.
So this is, I think, like
I had not seen this. This is cool.
Yeah. Do we have a Dave? You probably have a picture. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's like DeFoot and it's a phenomenal team here. That's part of this.
That's great.
My Pet Monster Slash makes me happy.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
Oh, never mind. All right.
So the one on the far right,
really sick.
The one on the right is neutral. The original look of Neutralizer.
Everybody copies password. Okay, cool. Interesting. He's got that Triceraton gun, or close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty damn close. Well, yeah. I like the unicolored weapons, like the chromatic ones.
Very retro.
Conan. Yeah. Conan the Barbarian.
You think these are these renders or these prototypes? You think
these are protos?
They look like
protos. Because if it was a render, he wouldn't have to put the club in the open hand. He could put it in the gripping hand.
I was gonna say, also looking at the backdrops, those look rather familiar. I know they're not well.
Sure, yeah.
I'm
fair point.
Pretty sure I've seen those a few times.
That's cool though. I like those.
I'm a shill. The 2012 Turtles. I collected that line with my son over the pandemic, and we watched that together, and it just it became more than it actually is to me, and it's just I'm very excited.
Not a shill. You have an actual connection.
Yeah,
a shill will do it because of the money. So you're getting none of that. It's costing you more than it's gaining you. So you're not in a shill category at all.
But that's a big one for me right now. Obviously, the 03 Turtles. I kind of have an itch for the I can't remember who's making it. It's like the Turtle Van, but like an Android. So it's it's got
yeah, those are real heads. Those are Sofubi's.
Yeah.
Did I send that to you? I think there's a picture. We have a picture of it. Yeah.
I really like those. I think those are super cool.
I do. They're really
fun because I have a slight Sofubi collection, which I learned it from watching Brian Flynn basically because that's all he collects is skateboards and Sofubi. So it's one of the few bad habits I picked up from him. But it's super fun. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
right.
Super sick.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
That was the next thing I was going to bring up. I was like, "Have you seen this?" And you did it for me. Yeah, this is right. But how cool is this?
It's super cool. Yeah,
it's definitely one of those that made me really, really, really itchy, and I'm like,
oh
yeah, that went up for sale today.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, I have one that's something similar that you guys might like. 1 second.
Oh shit!
Are you guys familiar with Run the Jewels?
Yeah. Oh, I think I know what he has.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is the LA exclusive Krang Run the Jewels collab thing. So it's got the faceted hands, the pistol and fist from the fourth album. And then so they had 4 colorways, one for each city that was part of their RTJ 10-year anniversary shows.
Yeah.
And so I got to go to the LA shows. I didn't buy that there, but they had this one, they had one for Atlanta, they had one for New York, and one for Chicago as well. And they're all basically the team colors from the show. So this is supposed to be Lakers.
That's really fucking
sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, and he does come out. And he rotates and whatever, but the nature of Sofubi, they tend to lock up unless you heat them up. So
the Turtle of Android, nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The for it, and Lord knows Dave isn't getting money out of this. Dude, and you know what? It is actually, I packed him back up because I was afraid of him breaking. I have the Brodyhausen, which was it's Krang, or it's a Krang android, but it's Brody King and Danhausen.
That's cool.
And I have one of those from his Whatnot, and it makes me so stupidly happy, just because it's two good dudes that have a ridiculous fucking toy. But it was super short run, and I always am nervous about it fucking breaking, because mine has a little warp on it, so it's
like 12 of a kind or whatever.
Yeah, it was really low numbers. I think I want to say it was like 40 or 50 maybe tops. But I know Shaggy has one and Tony has one too. But I love shit like that though. Like
I have some art I'll have to show you after the show that you're gonna like.
Like, okay, goofy thing. I made a bunch of these, and I found out one of my friends gave it to a person who is on Broadway right now. But I made
nice
these Audrey 2 chain chop, or not chain chop, but Piranha Plans.
That's cool.
I found out she gave the one that she had to a person who is currently a resident of Skid Row on Broadway. So that's kind of
cool. Right on.
But I love stuff like that. Like, I have the rad radioactive Ectonarch chilling out up here. I don't know. Some of that stuff's so fun. But
yeah. Well, so I'll mention. I mean, that's what's been like exciting me about like the TMNT Motu stuff too. You know, where it's just like what the possibilities that we can see there. On the Thundercats one too, which is like, I sorry, I missed that.
What?
I missed the last comment. Was
Fortnite was singing Skid Row from Little Shop of Horrors.
But like, I mean, that's the thing, Kyle. I know you're into Thundercats too. I know we're on the turtle talk, but was there like stuff on the Thundercats side that you're, especially with like some of the newer stuff that's coming out too? Were there characters there that are like, man, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got to make Mongor, which is like my favorite character from there, and he's basically just Satan. So I think I'm pretty good there. I kind of got to do the stuff I wanted to do for the most part. The Mattel ones didn't, you know, I kudos to that whole team there. They weren't really for me. I think the one that I liked the most was the Battle Cat one, because that like makes sense because he's like a cat. Yeah. But everything else I was kind of like, I mean, it doesn't seem different enough for me to justify the crossover. But like Turtles and Motu is like so wildly different, you know.
I mean, it was a fever dream of a line too, which was kind of neat.
Well, and
I have all four brothers from the Turtle one.
Dude, they're which ones? Now there's two sets.
Oh, I know. I have the first four. Right, so like Man at Arms Donnie and
dude, that
Mikey and
that made my top 10 last year, just out of like, this is a fucking fever dream. Like, I remember wanting so badly for those two to like mesh, like as a kid, and it was like fucking wild. But I also did realize we are approaching the top of the second hour, and I don't want to keep Kyle too terribly long, so I do want to Geeky, you get one more.
No, you got 12 more minutes to ask everything.
Yeah.
You know,
you want to do a rapid fire? We can do that. Just hit a bunch of.
So you're saying Marvel. You were saying Marvel and.
Oh wait, hold on.
Well, I'm gonna ask on the Marvel and Star Wars front, because this is like you're saying, like these are two things that you haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
What would be the most exciting characters from those two properties that you would be like?
That's a good question. For me, I think Marvel. I think I would love to do some X-Men stuff. I think I could do a really good job, because like I really love X-Men. You know, they call me Colossus on the Enablers. That character always resonated with me, because like he's slightly larger, he's kind of strong, and like, but he's like this soft artist at heart too. Like, and I don't know, something like Colossus is like one of my favorite guys, and like Magneto is my like favorite villain of all time. Like, it's just everything. I think something that I don't even know what it would look like. I just would want to be in that room, you know.
Picturing you going
a little bit, yeah. And my danger room practices. And for Star Wars, I mean, it's gonna sound so basic, and maybe I'm a basic bitch at heart, but I love Darth Vader, and I've never gotten to do any kind of Darth Vader or anything, and I think that would just be cool to do. Dope. Even if it's like a toaster or something that nobody's gonna care about. It's like, yeah, I got to do a Darth Vader thing, because I have like a Vader. There's like a section there. This one here is all Darth Vader stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all Vader figures. So I'm trying to do that. I think some of the ship stuff could be cool, and like the droids as well. But yeah, something with Darth Vader Imperials. I don't know. I really like that.
Phantom Crow says, "Can I get a Darth Vader Shredder combo?"
I would love to. That would be cool. I mean, there is that long lost concept art.
Yep,
there is, but it's been found again.
That was Dooney, right? Who did the original art for that?
You are talking to yourself at this point. Only you are going to know who that is.
Geeky, yes, it was.
Well, let's just say it was then. Yeah,
exactly.
Nailed it again.
Nice.
Well, Kyle, you know, we here at Turtle Talk, here at the Dave Wonder Channel, whatever the hell you want to call it, we as your friends always have your back, and we can't wait to see what you do next. I'm going to toss you up there so that the floor is yours, man. Let people know who you are, what you want to do, and where people can find you.
Sure. That's very cool. Yeah. So, I'm Kyle. You may have known me from some of the action figures on your shelf. I'm just looking to make cool stuff with cool people, and afford this crazy world that we live in at this point. I don't need to get rich off of anybody. I don't need to have a yacht or whatever. I want to be able to feed and care for the people who are important to me, and make some cool stuff in the process as well. So open to creative director, art director, product designer, lead designer, any of those kinds of roles. I have some freelance projects here and there that I'm working on, which I'm very excited about. I had a few people in the community reach out to me about working with them like immediately, which was incredible. I do want to say that this is going to sound like a flex, and it's not meant to, but I really had a insane outpouring of love from the community, messages, texts, calls, just saying, hey, I'm so sorry that happened to you, or hey, your work really touched me and really resonated with me, and it means a lot to me, and I really hope that you find something else that's good. And like it was crazy. Like it was hundreds of messages. Like I was on my phone for like 2 days after I got let go. I've never been busier than when I didn't have a job, just responding to everybody who was getting back to me, which again sounds like a brag, but it's not meant to. It's just I'm trying to just state this is a statement of gratitude, and just to everybody who reached out, sent thoughts, offered me freelance jobs, any of that stuff. People who bought me, some people bought me lunch, some people sent me a birthday gift. It was incredible, and I've never felt more supported. And I don't regret anything. Super 7 afforded me an incredible amount of opportunities, meeting everybody in this amazing community, talking to you guys, the place that I'm in now. It just, some of the experiences that I had, well, I'll take for the rest of my life, and that's all because of them. So I'm always grateful to them. And if I could do it all again, I would. So excited to see whatever the world has up for me next. It's a little uncertain right now, but I'm hoping that it'll work out. So I have a lot more ideas that I didn't get to do. So who knows? Maybe this is just the beginning.
Hell yeah, dude. Also, all of Kyle's socials are linked in the video description below. Go hit him up if you have opportunities. Also, just throw him some love because he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Geeky?
Well, I'm going to take a second and just say thank you to Kyle. I mean, for like so many of my favorite figures are out of like, your brilliant imagination. And so, thank you for everything that you have done. And I'm so excited to see what else is going to be able to come from your incredible mind. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. For me, I mean, I got, I'm here most of the time. Wednesdays we do Grippin' and Rippin'. We got a lot more Turtle Talk stuff coming as well, which is going to be phenomenal. You can usually find me over also on Speaky Geeky, as well as Geeky Junior, which is a whole bunch of every single week we have new stories. Some might be Turtle, some might be Sesame Street. It's all over the place. So, but it's fun stuff, and it's me trying my hardest to do some voices that may resonate, may not. I have a thing coming up that is I'm very excited about, which is an original motion comic / small run physical TMNT fan comic, and cool. That's coming out. I don't want to spoil what it is yet. But it's like with the same animator who did the intro for this very show. So that should be really fun. And that is, I'll start teasing that a little bit more, I think, in the coming weeks. We've got some really cool stuff with it. But keep your eye on that, because that is not too far off. And then I think a couple weeks, we got maybe have another episode here coming up.
Coming up June. So it will be awesome. You know where to find me. I'm right here on the Dave Wonder channel, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometimes Saturdays too, because why not? On Instagram, the Dave Wheeler, everywhere else, Dave Wonder, most importantly, over at Extra Life. It's linked in the video description below. But I too would like to thank Kyle for all his contributions, and also just for being a genuinely kick-ass dude. Kyle, you fucking rock. And
thank you.
No doubt that you're going to come back just changing shit up. I can't wait.
Thank you.
I was trying to think of an eloquent way of putting it, and I got nothing, man. I already messaged you. I was like, hey, man, you know how it is. So as always, thank you to Kyle, thank you to Geeky, thank you to the COJ for coming off in the chat. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, go fucking follow Kyle, and be good, be kind. Much love from Minnesota. I lost the outro. Good night, everybody.
Aww.